Guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, especially if you love college football as much as I do. And if you're wondering why, even though this video is about Texas and Alabama in week 2, why I'm not wearing the Texas jerseys is because I'm a Texas fan, but I'm trying to remain unbiased as possible. All right. So this game, I believe, is the biggest game of the regular season for college football in 2023. Why? Because these are both teams coming off kind of disappointing seasons. Alabama did win 11 games. They won the Sugar Bowl. But according to what they've been doing lately, they should be in the playoffs. They should be in SEC championships, winning those games and winning, or at least competing for national championships. So this year was a down year for them, considering they had Bryce Young, Will Anderson, among other talented players on that team. And they lost to Tennessee. They don't lose to Tennessee. And of course, they lost to LSU, who they normally don't lose to, outside of that national championship LSU team. But that's besides the point. For Texas, they've been disappointing for too long. I know Sarkisian, this is about to be his third year. He hasn't been there for very long, but he's been there long enough with the talent that he has to at least be winning 10 games this past year. He only won 8 games. And Oklahoma State and who else they lose to? Texas Tech. When you lose to those teams who you're way better than in terms of talent, you should be winning those games. And of course, they lost to Alabama already at home, so now you got to go over there and deal with Alabama. This is a big game for Texas because for Sarkisian, this is make or break it this year for him. This is his third year with nothing but elite talent. Texas is a team talent-wise. I say talent-wise, so don't get mad at me, Georgia, Ohio State fans, Michigan fans. This is huge because for Texas, this is it. This is your last year in the Big 12. You haven't won your conference in a long time. And you have not been consistently beating Oklahoma. You haven't had 10 wins or more every year. You have to do well this year, and that goes through beating the Alabama Crimson Tide with Coach Saban. But I think with Texas, there's more grace for them losing this game. Just a little bit more than Alabama. I'll tell you why. Nick Saban is the GOAT of college football. The GOAT. He is so successful. He has nothing to lose this year, but there's a lot for Alabama even if he's gone. Alabama beats these teams. They beat Texas. Texas teams who have been mediocre or at best. If they don't beat Texas, they have a brutal schedule ahead of them. LSU, Auburn, who I think is going to be better. Mississippi State. Mississippi with Lane Kiffin, who's getting better over there with Ole Miss. So I think it's in the right direction. You probably are going to go to the SEC Championship. You got Texas A&M with Jimbo Fish, who brought in Bobby Petrino to run that offense. So there's a lot of tests waiting for Alabama if they can't beat Texas again at home. For Texas, it's not an easy schedule, but you still got Oklahoma to deal with, who's going to get better. You got Texas Tech, who's a hate game. You got TCU, who's going to get better, who you can't beat every year. You got Oklahoma State, who for some reason keeps whooping Texas most of these past years. So there's a lot of tests for these teams. And Texas doesn't win their conference. I think they made it to the Big 12 championship one time in 2018, but that's it. Other than that, they've been disappointing. They're Texas. They're the Texas University, but yet they can't win a lot like they're supposed to. So for that reason, this is really the most important game for both of these teams. I feel like for the winner, it'll catapult them into being something special for 2023. The loser, it's going to hurt them a lot. For Alabama, Nick Saban, for him, this is huge because this gives him momentum going into a brutal SEC schedule. For Texas, Texas can finally say, hey, we're back. We just beat Alabama at Alabama. So, yeah. So, it really is. In my opinion, it's the most important game of the 2023 regular season. LSU, Florida State. Texas A&M, Miami. Notre Dame, Ohio State. Those games, in my opinion, pale in comparison to Texas and Alabama. Because for Texas, they have a lot of questions to answer, especially for Coach Sarkisian. But for Alabama, Nick Saban got disrespected at the national championship game to his face. Told that Georgia is the team now, not you. Ha, ha, ha. Basically, what is he going to do about it? Texas, nobody respects Texas. What are y'all going to do about it, Longhorns, when it comes time to play big bad Alabama, who ain't so big and bad anymore, according to most people? I got a lot of respect for both teams. What's going to happen? Wait and see. Biggest game of the regular season. Mark my words.